on, people? Happy 4th of July Eve. Now, this is going to be a short one, so people on TikTok may not even catch on to this. But what we're going to talk about today is why going live like I am right now is probably overall a better strategy than creating a bunch of recorded content. And I'm going to give you a couple of points about this in just a second. First off, let me welcome everybody. If you are tuning in on TikTok, you can put a 1 in the comments. If you've never seen me before, you can put a 2 if you have been here before. Same on YouTube. I am simulcasting to both, so you can do either one, and that's great. If you don't know who I am, I help educational content creators 40 and above, primarily on YouTube. But I will help people on TikTok. Basically, I'll help people escape TikTok because you're not being paid very much over there. You're also not being paid very much on YouTube. But there's a thing that only a handful of people on TikTok, many more on YouTube do know, and that is that it's not about your views. It's also not about your subs on on YouTube or your followers on TikTok. It's about how you get paid. And getting paid for views is the worst and most unpredictable way to get paid. Anybody on TikTok want to give me a amen on that one? Or anybody on Instagram or YouTube want to give me an amen on that one? So this is why this is a bad business model. And the better one is a knowledge business model, which I'm going to talk about at the end here. But let's jump right into this. So you may or may not know, because I got all of this, and I'm one of these people that if I didn't come up with it, I'm not going to pretend that I did, right? So maybe you know about this guy. This guy is Alex Hormozi, Hormozi. He has become one of the foremost modern business experts out there. He has also built a massive social media following of more than 10 million followers across all platforms, including LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So he is all over the place. But he is of the opinion, and if you look at his channel now, right? If you look at what he's doing now as opposed to what he used to do, he is all about the live. And the reason he says this is because it accomplishes a lot of things all at once that content won't. Especially short form content. Figure if somebody needs to reach 400, or if someone needs to reach 4 to 6 hours of your content before they decide that you're somebody worth listening to, think about how many 30-second shorts that is on TikTok or on YouTube. That is a ton. But if they spend 1 to 2 hours with you in lives, maybe over the course of 1 week, they can accomplish the same thing, and it shortens that period where you're somebody that A, they want to listen to, B, they believe. So that is why he has decided that going forward, this, and by the way, this is Alex, and you can see his YouTube here. He has 4.13 million followers. He also is a 3-time Amazon best-selling book author. So not for nothing, but this guy really does know what he is talking about. But what we're going to talk about in these next couple of minutes is that's not the right slide. I'll tell you that right now. I just gave it away. So the first one is real-time human connection. That is something that you cannot get from a pre-recorded piece of content. That's why live feels more authentic and real. People feel like they know the people on lives, and they don't feel like they really know them from content. Because here's the thing, anybody can say and pretend and fake anything on content. But when you're out here on your own, you're a real human, you're a flawed human, and people will listen. So it's more real, it's more authentic. It builds trust faster. Just like I was saying before, it takes less time watching somebody live to get them to believe you, because they can tell if you're being fake. Because if you're trying to fake it and you're half-assing your level of knowledge, people know. All right? They know 100%. So it also gets more comments and interaction. My content doesn't get very much, but in a live, if the right people hit and they have questions and I can answer them, it's a lot more comments and interaction. That type of content then raises your profile on the algorithm. It's also instant audience feedback. If they don't like what you have to say, then they're going to let you know. Also, you don't need to listen to them when they give you that feedback if it's negative. But a third thing is you can also find out what they need more of from you on live, because they'll tell you. I forgot to tell you, but if you have questions about what we're talking about here, put a Q, colon, and then put your question. You can do that in either YouTube or TikTok, and I'll do my best to address your question. Put Q, colon, and then the question. All right. So yes, real human connection is a real thing, and it is a major reason why going live is better. You also get an algorithm boost. When you go live, you want people to show up right now. If they see that you created a new video, they're just like, I can watch that later. But if you're going live, that's something that won't be 100% duplicated by any piece of content that you have, because the audience is different, the experience is different. So when people see that you're going live, if they like you, they're going to try to show up right now, because they're going to have this FOMO. It creates more attention, it creates more urgency, right? And the platforms push live streams harder. They've said it, both of them. TikTok does and YouTube does. And what it also does is if you go live, it's going to bump up your content as well, your pre-recorded content. And so you get more visibility and you get more reach. So why wouldn't you go live? So the third thing that it does, and once again, I jumped the gun because I didn't have my lives closed. See, I didn't have my slides going. Oh, and that's not even the right one. Hold on here. Hold on here. There we go. That's what I wanted. So a live feels like you're part of a community, right? Feels like you're part of a community. Hi, Braden. It feels like a room. It feels like an experience. A piece of content that you watch is just static, right? You watch it, you might be getting distracted by 17 other things, but it feels like a feed. A room, nope, no dance parties here, Braden. We're talking about serious business. A room is an experience, okay? It also, once again, encourages participation. If somebody knows that they have a answer and you're going to answer it right there live, it makes them more likely to ask the question, because they know they're going to get immediate win, right? They're going to get an immediate return on the investment of their time if they ask a question. So it encourages participation. What it also does is you build relationships and loyalty with people a lot quicker. I've had people that came on my lives on either TikTok or YouTube. I just started going live again on TikTok because I am simulcasting between the two. But it builds these stronger relationships and loyalty. I've had people that watch one of my lives And then they joined my community, which I'm going to tell you about here in just a second. But people also feel seen and involved. So they're not a fly on the wall where they are necessarily just consuming something. They get to be a participant. They get to be part of what's going on. And so they do feel seen and heard. And then last but not least, let's get rid of that one too, right? Whoops. There we go. Last but not least, not this one. And look, you don't have to be perfect on live. You don't have to be perfect, right? All you got to do is show up and be helpful to people. So the last one here is efficient authority building. Now, what I said before is live stream, and this is why Alex Hormozi is doing this. He is extremely good live because he's extremely knowledgeable about the subjects that he talks about. So when he goes live and he answers questions and he looks at comments and he answers questions, you know what that's doing? That's building individual pieces of content for him. And you can use platforms like Opus Clips or other things where you just take a live and you shove that live in there and you say, knock me out 20 short form clips. Right? And then you have both. You have live and you have the pre-recorded. But the pre-recorded seems more natural because it's actually coming from the live. So one live stream can be multiple pieces of content for you. It not only acts there live, but they also record it on the different platforms. And you can either rebroadcast it on TikTok if you want to, or it lives on your YouTube feed. It creates faster content creation, right? Because if you know what you are talking about and you answer lots of questions, you have lots of pieces of content right then and there. You don't have to go trying to find B-roll. You don't have to go faking content. All you have to do is just answer questions live. And when you answer questions live and you're helpful, people like you, believe it or not. They like you. So now, here is positions you as active and credible. Number one, if you show up every single day, and by the way, I am in the midst of a live and daily video through the rest of this year because I have decided that the best way to get traffic for what I'm about to tell you about is going to be to go live. It's going to be to answer questions. Now, in the beginning, nobody shows up, and that's okay. But you need to be there because you want to get better at expressing yourself. When you go live every single day, you know what you do? You get crystal clear on what you're trying to say and how you're trying to position yourself. It becomes crystal clear. You can ad-lib forever when you do that, right? All you need is a couple of points in your head, and then you can get out there and you can just talk. And when you're not reading a script, people know it. People feel it when they're looking into your eyes and they know that, like, man, this guy or this girl, they really know their shit. So I can ask them a question and I can trust them and I can feel comfortable with them. So it builds authority and it makes you a credible human being. And by the way, if you want to join me on this daily video and daily live challenge, I started the daily lives on Tuesday. I started the daily videos on Monday. So I'm on day 5 of daily videos, and I am on day 4 of daily lives. And I am going to do both through the end of the year. There will be days where it will not be easy, but I'm going to do it. All right? So those are the 4 reasons that you want to go live. Now, hearing all that, who plans on going live? And Jager says he goes live every day and he draws things. And that's awesome, man. Because you know what? That's proving that what you're talking about, you actually know about. Because there's a lot of people that get on here and try to sell digital products and they're faking it. The only way they've ever made any money was by selling the course. They don't have the information in their head. They don't know it, right? So they fake it. And they try to fake it by going live. But what I'm about to show you is a way you don't have to fake it, and you don't have to make money online products, and you don't have to worry about, well, I got this many sales this month. How many am I going to have next month? Would you like to see what that is? Let me show it to you, because it's pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. So let me pull up my screen on both. There it is. It lags a little bit, so give me a couple of minutes. It's called School. Who's heard of School? Anybody heard of School besides Jaeger, who is in my community, so obviously he's heard of it. But who's heard of School? Now, what's cool about School is, number one, remember this guy right here? Where is he? Hold on. Where'd we go? Remember this guy? And I don't know, am I showing him? There. Remember this guy? He owns 50% of this platform. Now, he didn't found it, but he does own 50% of the platform. And so, don't know where that went. Don't know what happened there. Sometimes things happen in live and you just got to roll with them, guys. You just roll with them. Look at that. Got rid of it. No big deal. So, here's the thing about School. All right. School is a platform that is all-in-one. It's all-in-one. So if you want, and I'm trying to get back up here so you can see the whole screen. There we go. So if you want a place where you can have a community where people can talk to you, if you want a place where you can have a classroom where you can teach people, and you want a place where you can have live events, and best of all, if you want a place where you can get paid, because they will collect the cash for you, and they'll do it in different currencies, and they'll do it from people all over the world, and you don't need a credit card processor, and you don't need Stripe, and you don't need credit to get credit accounts and all of this stuff. You don't need any of that stuff with School. All you need is an idea for a community, like any one of these people right here, right? These guys teach Claude Code. This guy teaches Grand Theft Auto. And look at this. Now, this is really interesting. This guy, Evan, look at his community. He only started this thing 3 weeks ago. And because the platform helps boost us on Facebook and Instagram by running ads for our communities, people have found his community and they're going nuts. 329 members. And they pay $25 a month after a 7-day free trial. Pretty darn good, huh? Pretty darn good. And then I've got some people in my community that have had some amazing success. Cindy was in my community. She actually has like 300,000 followers on TikTok. But she was in my community, and in 30 days, she gained 30 students, paying her $99 each. So over $3,000 in monthly recurring revenue within a 30-day period. So it more than made up for her investment in the School platform. But here's the best part. You can start a School for $9. $9 a month. Then I got my friend Ray, who also met me on TikTok before I kind of quit going live there because somebody stole my account. But Ray has 13 members, paying him $87 a month. So he's making $1,100 a month. A little bit over, what, 11, 12 grand a year. Supplemental income, and it's only going up from here. Not bad. Then you've got my friend Danny, who's just starting her community, but she feels like finding the cash flow circle was a place where she didn't have to fit in because she already feels like she belongs. And for me, that's the best compliment you can pay me. That is 100% the best compliment you can pay me, is to do that. So if you want to check out our community, all you need to do is go to the link in my bio, and I will be happy to welcome you there. You also get a free trial with my community. After that, it's only $9 a month. You can cancel it anytime, but I promise you, you're going to get $9 of value, because in that first 7 days, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to help you figure out what your community should be about, based on what your content would be about on YouTube. Then I'm going to help you structure the community. Then I'm going to help you get that community live and starting to receive members. And the goal is in 90 days that you're making even at least $1,000 a month from the content that you put on YouTube. Because here's the deal, all right? Let's look at one of these success stories. Let's look at one. And what are we doing here? Hang on. What are we doing? Is it behind me? Oh, son of a gun. It is behind me. Well, all right. Let's look at success stories on another. Okay, so let's get rid of that. See, guys, you don't have to be all slick. You can just be real with people. You don't have to be slick. Success stories. Okay, well, we already did the GTA one, but let's do this. So this is the guy, since he started his community, right? Since he started his community, he's gotten a boost of 4 times the traffic on his community. 4 times the traffic. So pretty darn impressive. And it's all because he decided to use school. He decided school was the platform he was going to use. And so voila, now my man has got this huge boost in traffic. So if you want to join my community, once again, let me show you one more time before we get out of here what that looks like. All right. This is my community. And I don't know what's going on. There we go. This is my community. And let me show you the non-member version. All you do is you start a free trial. Now, if you've never heard of school before, all you have to do to start a free trial and get inside the community is set up an account with school. Very simple. All you do is you give them name, email, password. They're going to send a password security reminder to your email. You're going to click on that. Then you're going to have an account. It's just like a Gmail account. It's totally free. And then you can join any community you want on there, depending on whether or not it is, free or paid. And then once you get inside of my community, we're going to take you in and give you a little sneak peek. Again, I'm going to show you how to get started in the first week. We're going to give you a foundation and we're going to help you start your own. We call it a branch because I've got an office theme going on with my community. So step 1 is clock in, tell us who you are. Step 2, we're going to lay the foundation and the groundwork to help you build your school. And then step 3, we're going to help you get this thing off the ground and not keeping you in just thought and overthought mode. And then I've got a whole bunch of tools inside here that will help you run your community as well. But this is it, man. YouTube to a school community. And there are people making just obscene amounts of money doing just that. YouTube to a school community, or Instagram to a school community, or TikTok to a school community. All 3 of them have found success. So I hope you will decide that your knowledge has value to other people and you'll want to do the same thing, because you can offer some value to the world where you can save people time, money, headaches, and they'll be happy that you did. So, and if you like this live and you like my content, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow me on TikTok if you want to. But the real place where you're going to get all the real good stuff is going to be on YouTube, because I can share screens there and I can do a whole lot of stuff that I cannot do on TikTok, just because A, it's hard to work with, and B, they're kind of sticklers for that stuff. So check it out. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I will be back on the 4th of July because I got a commitment that I made to myself and my audience. I'm going to go live and make a video every single day for the rest of this year. So if you want to join me, love to have you in that challenge. And you guys have a wonderful night.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.